Welcome to Caring for You, Mind, Body, and Soul. This is Lesson 10, Caring for Your Soul, Just for You. Being a caregiver is a 24/7 job. It can be overwhelming. Caregivers often say that they find it difficult to find any time for themselves. Even when it's not possible for you to set aside the time you need, it still might be possible to find small moments in which you can find joy for yourself, simple pleasures. Finding small moments just for you is one way of caring for your soul.
Okay, great. So now that everyone has had the opportunity to share what's going on with them, I'd like to talk about how you are doing. I'd like to hear what you are doing for yourselves.
You're kidding. I barely have time to take a shower.
Yeah, Ed follows me around like he's my shadow. I do need to find time for myself, but I don't know where to find it. What can I do?
I feel so guilty when I don't go visit my dad. So guilty.
I agree. Even if I sit for 1 second, I see him just sitting there doing nothing, and I feel terrible that I'm not doing something with him.
The only reason I'm here is because you're providing respite for Mary in the next room. Otherwise, I wouldn't even be able to do this.
There's just no time. My husband Ed sits on the toilet for 20 minutes every morning. It just takes forever to get him going.
I wonder if that gives you 20 minutes to sit and have a cup of coffee. I mean, you could see it as an opportunity.
Maybe get him a little bit more fiber.
So we do. We hear a lot about how it's important to take time for ourselves, but even that in and of itself can become stressful. I mean, who has the time, right? But maybe if we think about it like you take whatever time you get when you can get it. So even if you can only get 10 seconds, 10 seconds can really help a lot if you use it well.
Sometimes I find it helpful to take 3 deep breaths, to just stop and breathe.
There's an app for that, actually. Sorry, nerd alert. But there really is. There's a series of apps that you can use to increase mindfulness and help with breathing. You just set a little alarm and it'll remind you to breathe throughout the day.
I use one, and some days I just fantasize about taking a shower. A long, hot shower, without worrying about Layla in the other room.
I really miss just going for a morning walk with my neighbor. So I mentioned that to my neighbor, Eileen, and then she offered to have her husband come over and have coffee with Ed, and we ended up going for a walk this morning.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. I just really needed to talk to someone, I mean, you guys are great, but it was just so nice to have 30 minutes to talk about nothing that had to do with Ed, nothing that had to do with Alzheimer's.
Sure. I'm really happy for you, Linda. I think that's so great. But let's talk about what if you only had just 10 minutes or 5 minutes, 1 minute, 10 seconds? Even that small amount of time, we can do something for ourselves. You can help your mom do something for herself. And even if you feel like you can't or you shouldn't, I'm officially giving you permission to do this, okay? And next time, I would like to hear what everyone has done for themselves. Sound good?
Yeah, sounds good. Okay. Thank you.
Have a great month.
Not finding time to revive, having an empty cup, can have serious consequences for your mental and physical health. If you don't make time for you, you might find that you're losing patience with the person with dementia you're caring for. You might feel depressed. You might feel overwhelmed. You might neglect your own health. Because you have so much on your plate, it helps to put down on paper those things you would like to do for yourself. Making this wish list helps you think through the things that you'd like to do, so when you find those precious moments, you have a reminder of what you'd like to do and you can act on it. It might also help to make those things that you'd like to do an actual date on your calendar, just like you would schedule any other appointment.
So, did you do something for yourselves?
I did. I asked Layla's brother if he would come and visit, and he said yes, How about next weekend?
Wow.
And I was like, oh my God, I know, right?
Yeah.
So nice.
So what did you do?
I went to a spa alone.
Nice.
I took 30-minute showers. I had 3 massages. And I drank a lot of wine. Yeah. It was glorious.
I like it.
Wonderful.
That sounds perfect. Mine was a lot more subdued, but I realized Mary talks on the phone every day to one of her kids or grandkids, and I realized I could put a note in front of her that says, when you're done on the phone, yell for Christy. Then I can get a free 15 to 30 minutes while she's on the phone. I never thought of that before.
So smart. Yeah.
The phone is your friend.
Great idea.
Well, I've been getting up 15 minutes early every morning, just enough time to get a cup of coffee, sit out on my deck with the paper before the avalanche of questions.
My abuelo taught me to play dominoes when I was little. Mom never learned to play. So now, every time I go over there to see him, we've been playing. He really likes to play, so she started going out without him.
Awesome.
And she's letting me stay alone with him.
That's wonderful.
I did something huge. What? I started Ed at the Adult Day YO Club. It's specifically for adults with younger onset Alzheimer's, so he's there with people just like him. You know, I had convinced myself that he wouldn't like it or, you know, that he'd make a scene, but he loves it. But also, it's 3 days a week for 4 hours.
Okay. That's so great.
Thanks.
So we can all see that these small moments of joy, these simple pleasures, you know, the coffee, dominoes, a shower, these are where you might find your lifelines. And these are the things that feed your soul. Because if we really think about it, you can't care for somebody that you love unless you care for yourself.
Finding moments for the small pleasures takes honesty and recognizing that you need them, that they ultimately will help both you and the person with dementia by giving you a moment to fill your cup. Asking for help takes humility, as it is recognizing that you cannot do everything, that you are human, and that you have needs that are important. It takes courage to give yourself permission to take care of your mind, body, and soul so that you can take care of another. Congratulations on completing Lesson 10 and doing something just for you. As we end this series, we encourage you to keep looking for opportunities to apply what you've learned and keep learning. As you look for opportunities to apply what you've learned, consider trying one of these microsteps. Look for small moments where I can do something just for myself. Ask others for help so I can find time for myself. Make a list of the things I would like to do for myself. Find time to do one thing for myself in the next week. Or create your own microstep and take that step to caring for you.